Just ignore me, dude.
I don't think anyone can ignore you. I don't think anyone can ignore you. No.
No, try to, but
If I did that, my life would be very boring. Sorry, I don't have my stash of glitter to jump. Hello everyone. How are you doing? Apologize. Hi. I'm thinking maybe instead of Mountain Dew, I should have just grabbed for coffee or something, because I gotta be honest, I'm a bit tired. Oh. Yeah, I'm a little tired. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little tired. But, you know, that's what happens. But hey, how are you doing, Ry? How you doing? Well, I think we're gonna do our weekly live show, which is what we're doing right now. So yeah. Hi, welcome.
Hi.
It's Tuesday night, Scuba and The Ry. How y'all doing? Real quick, kind of, and we'll go do the shout outs and all that stuff. The first and most important shout out is always to thank you for tuning in and watching this video with us, as Ry and I sit there and ramble on about movies, games, and whatever else we feel like. What? Oh, yeah. I think I know what it is. Wait one. Okay. This is what happens when we do the remote thing and then back over and...
Sir Debbie's question, or make a comment so you can hear me.
Oh, you might be able to do that now.
Can you hear me, people? Confirm that the voice of the Ry Guy is there.
Yeah.
Back?
Should be good now.
All right.
Should be good. Yay! Thank you, Mayflower.
All right, so May confirmed. Okay, there we go.
May confirm. It's great. That's why I love I love my moderators, because they help me catch things that I thought I accounted for and I missed. So
now you can hear me. You missed the do and the whoosh and the fireworks and the confetti. So glitter.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I don't have any glitter.
But no, it's no toilet paper rolls right here. But you know, it might look like that to some people around my neck. But it's your
headphones.
It's my headphones. It is a staple of the Ry Guy on the podcast. So. Oh
yeah, your mini vacation. Hope it went well. Debbie came out here to Northern Hampton Roads.
Oh yeah, mini vacay. Kind of was on my little mini vacay as well. So I understand.
I would like to take a vacay. I hear they're really enjoyable. My daughter came to me yesterday, actually. Yeah, it was yesterday. She came to me yesterday. It was like, "Hey, Dad," and I'm like, "Yes. Can we go to Disney World?" I said, "Maybe." I was already looking at tickets. I'm like, "Okay. How much does it cost for a family of 4 to go there for a week?" And she goes, $3,000. I was like, "Yeah, it's probably going to be more like 5." Just saying.
Well, I know they have deals, but you know, I was guessing.
They always
4.
have deals.
I was guessing 4.
They always have deals, but you figure hotel stay, food, all that shenanigans. It's like, yeah, okay.
It bumps it up a little bit. I do have
It does go a little bit, and it's one of those
days of school for Scott.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, they get out at the end of May versus mid-June.
Oh yeah, the same thing with my cousins. Whenever they got out of May, I was a little jealous, but it's okay. It works. And
you know, part of that is because we still have this ancient blue law or whatever, where you can't start school before Labor Day.
Yes, I remember back in the day when they were trying to, when I was still in grade school, they were trying to move it before Labor Day, and there was a whole ruckus of it from teachers, parents, and administrators to not do it.
You know,
I remember it vaguely.
Fear of change can be one of those things that drives me absolutely out of my mind.
Oh yeah.
And it may sound hypocritical because I don't like to go. There are some places I don't like to go because I don't want to try new things. I like to have a routine. I like to have
Yeah.
build up a rapport with places. Like my buddy, our friend Saladin came over Sunday morning, and we went and had breakfast.
Okay.
So we went over to one of the places just down the street that I've been frequenting a lot lately.
Yeah.
We go in there, and of course, one of the waitresses is somebody I've talked to many a time. And Saladin, being Saladin, was like, you know, kind of getting there, and he made the comment to me, it's like, oh, she's gonna hit me, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm not gonna stop her because she's cool, and you put yourself in that situation.
Hey, it happens. Boom.
But it's go to those places, getting that familiarity, but then circling back to what I was saying is sometimes changing the calendar for some things, it's like people are so set in this is the way it's always been, they just don't even want to open up the opportunity that could be there if they tried something new.
Yep. That is Debbie put in the point. That's one of the big pointers that they keep it from not happening, especially in Virginia Beach.
Yeah,
She
they don't.
mentioned about tourism, and that is one of the big things. They don't want to move it before Labor Day for some reason. That's one of the sticking points.
That could be fair. That could be fair because the tourist season starts on Memorial Day, ends on Labor Day. I get it, but sometimes I think it's because the fear of trying something new will put you in a position you can't go anywhere because the opportunities can be ruined for a lack of trying to try something new and do something. Anyways.
But yeah, but even so, you know, school starts, people still go on vacations after. I've seen it, so.
Well, and Mayflower to kind of go in there, Saladin, myself, and another friend of ours, we were supposed to be going playing disc golf. And Saladin was all wishy-washy on, I haven't been sleeping well, so I don't know if I'll get up that early. I'm like, yeah, okay. And me and G were like, yeah, you know, get your sleep. Get your sleep.
Was this the Sunday breakfast you told me about?
Yeah, this was this past Sunday. This was just a couple days ago.
Okay.
So sitting there and Saladin, and then I get up, and of course I get up late Sunday morning because I get to sleep in a little bit on Sundays, right? I get to sleep in a little bit. So I'm delaying getting out of bed. So I get out of bed about 7:30. Yes, 7:30 is sleeping in for me. Shut up.
I didn't say anything.
I know you didn't, but there's somebody out there who's going to say that. Like, really? Oh, sleeping? Oh, I could go sleep until like 9, 10 o'clock. Like, oh, that's you. For me, sleeping in is 7:30.
Yeah, that will be my sleep time now that the weather is getting warmer and I like to go into the park early. So
I'm getting up, and it's going to be it's a little after 7:30, and Saladin sends out a text. Hey, I'm on my way. I'll be a little late past 8. I should be there a little after 8. And I'm going, it's an hour drive for me to get to the park to play disc golf. Dude, when you said the night before you were setting your alarm, I took it as you were setting your alarm to make sure you went to bed and not stayed up all night and monkeying around with whatever coding project you're doing. And it was like, and then I called him. I was like, dude, your message last night did not give the impression that you wanted to do this today. He goes, oh, really? I'm like, yeah. Well, if you were confused, G was totally confused. Yeah. Well, I'm already on the road. Where are you? So why don't you just turn around and come over here and we'll hang out, because it's been a few weeks. So he did that, and then I managed to take the opportunity to have him help me go through the website stuff because
that helps.
Yeah, so I have doing some work on the website on Sunday, made some changes. If you want to check it out, it's scubasstudio.com. I'll drop a link in there if you want to check it out.
I'll do it too.
So Ryle, drop that link in there. Oh yeah, I'll give Saladin a hard time in a minute, but you know what?
Everybody does.
I mean, that's kind of the thing we do. But you know, which is why I didn't have Sunday with Scoob. Is started working on some of this back end stuff, because now that I'm back to work, it's my timeline and my time schedule's different. I'm finding I'm being somewhat more productive when I have less time to kind of go through the motions of, oh, I could do it later or I could do it later. Now it's like, no, from this hour to this hour, I got to have my mind focused on here and here. So now I have this other bit of time. I need to make sure I'm using it efficiently. So it's very weird. Very weird. And I'm very tired now.
Oh yeah. Once you get that routine down, it'll fall into place.
Well, I'm tired for a couple of reasons. One, getting used to going back to an office. Because I got to tell you, not going to an office for like a year and then going into the office, I mean, that's a lot of that's a lot of movement that your body stops getting used to doing. I mean, you really take for granted the ability to walk around the block if you don't do it for a while. And this one is walking from my car up the stairs, in the building, to my desk, around the office, outside, back. I mean, I loved it because I was up and moving. Because
get the body moving, blood flowing.
Yeah, one of the worst things about working from home is, and especially if you're someone like, especially for me being like a workaholic, is I tend to forget about little things like, self-care and getting up and getting away from my desk.
Yep, and I tell you to do that sometimes.
I know. I even got a little timer on my desk. If I set it, it'll tell me, okay, every 45 minutes, stand up. I got it on my watch, and it says, hey, it's been about an hour, go and stand up. And I am so drilled, focused on stuff, I tend to forget about little things like eating and drinking and doing anything except what I'm working on.
Oh yeah, I feel you working from because I work from home. So I'm always at my desk, but I try to get up and walk around when I can. But once I sign off, I leave the house, head to a gym or head somewhere.
Yeah, well, I went and I worked out with the trainer for the first time in 3 weeks because we were having so many disconnects.
Yeah.
I was sick, then I was starting the new job, then he got sick. So today was the first day after 3 weeks, and man, he kicked my butt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did several different exercises, and it hurts to lift my arms, man. It hurts to lift my arms. But I enjoy it because I'm actually moving, and I'm hoping someday I'll be a lot thinner and smaller than I am now. At least in a physical sense, but
just takes time. Work at it, and it'll come down, down, down.
It does.
Down, down, down.
So much fun, but it's so exhausting because getting in there and then it's like, I mean, this new job is great. I love this new job. I love the opportunities this new job has.
Yes, it has a lot of good opportunities.
I mean, we were talking, it's like, after it's feeling like I'm in a position that I can influence what's going to happen in the next several months. And it's a very weird feeling.
It is. Definitely all this stuff that you mentioned off the air, what you're working on, is definitely a good voice to have, and the reputation you have is going to help in that, so...
Yeah, it was great. It was great getting department heads sending me messages. Oh, so glad you're back. I'm glad you're back. It's like, oh, okay, this is cool. This is awesome. But man, the amount, and it's not so much a physical tired as well. It's just a mental.
Yeah.
This just, and then trying to get back into creative writing. And I was working on something last night. And I was like coming up with great ideas, and I was typing out these great ideas and all this. And then it's like, okay, how do I stitch these ideas together? And I'm like, loading.
It happens. Like, I totally understand it being that mental breakdown. When I have work and school at the same time, it's mentally from one thing to another. And whenever I want to work on creative writings myself or anything else, I just kind of fall out and I just can't.
Well, we had a couple of things where it's like some conversations with some very trusted individuals that I've met over the past year. And I love these people to death. I bet it was, it's a good sign of leadership is who you surround yourself with, who you choose to surround yourself with. Because those people, you take out some of their personality qualities and everything, which is good. It makes you a better person.
Yeah.
And sometimes, though, one of those things is you have a communication issue. But being able to work out the communication and some of the things, I know I'm bad at it. And it was just that to sit there and actually say, look, I need 20 minutes to let my brain simmer, and I'll come right back kind of deal is just trying to get into that, trying to get used to that. And But that's a lot of what I've been trying to cope with. And sitting there, I walk past my shop today and I'm thinking, well, let's see. Monday through Friday, I'm at work till from like 9 to like 7 ish. Because, hey, if you're salary, your hours don't matter.
Trust me, I know.
It's okay. I love my job. I love my job more because of the people I get to work with.
Same with me.
Right
I
now.
enjoy the people I'm with. I enjoy doing what I aim to be doing.
Yeah.
You know, something that pertains to my degree and going forward. So.
I feel like I might actually be able to use part of my degree, but then again, I have probably one of the most generic degrees you could ever have. So yeah, but
It happens.
I was walking past the shop today. I was like, okay, so Monday through Friday I got this. Saturday I got these two things. Sunday I got this thing. When the hell am I gonna get in the shop?
Who knows? But you'll find the time.
I'll find the time. I know I want to go to PAX Unplugged.
Is that the one in December?
That's the one in December in Philadelphia. I'm waiting for registration to open. I want to go. I want to do the con thing. I feel I'm in a position I can go do the con thing.
I am hoping that at least one of the cons in the area goes on this year. Tidewater isn't, but there is a couple other ones that I'm hoping. So. Especially the Superstar Anime one, because I like anime. Anime conventions are fun, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, just getting into meeting some people I've talked to or communicated with digitally in the gaming community, and be able to go out and meet them, and
Yeah.
you know, build those relationships.
But fix the name in actual settings instead of just video.
I did something really kind of funny today. If you follow the studio Instagram, that's a Scuba Studio with a 0 on Instagram that floats over there. That way, kind of rotating around. But I went down to my local game shop, and I picked up the new source book,
Yes, you did.
Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, and this cover is amazing.
Yeah, just from me skimming through
It's
it.
an amazing cover. So what did I do? I took an Instagram photo. I threw it up there. I said, this cover is really awesome and amazing. If only I knew Esmeralda and could get her to autograph my book. That would be really cool.
That definitely would be cool.
Some of you know what I'm talking. Some of you know what I'm talking about, and you probably know who I tagged in this. 'Cause- But yeah,
for the money, 2 for the glow.
But yeah, we're going to talk about this. So far, I was cruising through this. I mean, this is just amazing artwork, really kind of beautiful looking opportunities.
Yeah, there's a lot of great things in there. Just
I mean, I first saw this picture. I'm thinking Call of Cthulhu. But then I look at it closer. It's like, it's not Cthulhu. It's Illithid. Oh, really? Let's see what we can do with this. Yeah, we'll talk about this. We'll talk about the new horror movie Sprial. The one that Chris Rock was on the producing team for, right?
Oh yes, he was a producer on it and the lead actor. So.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We got some interesting things. Now I think we should start off with this one, because I was just thinking about this, looking at how our last week has gone, and last week with that cyber attack on the pipeline.
So we're gonna litter in some odds and ends throughout. We can start off with.
Yeah, I think we should just be more conversational.
Okay.
Change it up. We're getting close to episode 100. I still haven't a damn clue what we're gonna do, but hey,
we got a few more weeks to think about it. So.
all right. This is episode 92.
So. A number of weeks. I'll just say that.
7 weeks from today.
It works.
Y'all heard about this, right? I mean, there was a cyber attack. It shut down the pipeline, ransomware, all that, and people lost their damn minds.
They did lose their damn minds last week, and it was kind of funny and crazy because when hysteria happens, GIFs happen, funny memes happen, and sure enough,
People do stupid things.
and stupid things lead to explosions. And I shared the link in the chat. Go ahead and take it away, Scoop.
So if I'm understanding this right, this person filled up a bunch of extra containers of gas, thinking there was going to be a gas shortage,
Yes.
and something happened, and then his Hummer caught on fire.
Yes. So this happened in Citrus County, Florida, where a Hummer on late Wednesday caught on fire because of having 5 gallons containers filled inside the back of the Hummer. So, one person was injured in it. They did not say how severe. They're still investigating what and how it happened, and but yeah, it just leads to the whole funniness of the freneticism and frantic that happens with human behavior, and sometimes stupidity happens. And I had a feeling, I mentioned this to Scuba last week when we met, that something like this was going to happen. And what made it even funnier was where it happened, because it seems like stupid things always happen in the state of Florida.
I don't know. Is the state of Florida also where that lady took out a laundry basket and tried to fill it with gas?
Yes. So there was a lady that was given in Florida that was trying to fill a laundry basket with gas. If anybody knows a laundry basket, you know a laundry basket isn't a fully covered basket. It's a basket.
No, this was one of those white circular joints from Walmart with the holes that are like freaking this big.
That big. And she was trying to fill it and wonder why it wasn't filling up. So, another case in Florida. So,
I mean, you can't make the... you know, people talk about fiction being such a great escape from reality.
no, reality is the fiction that is escape from our own fantasy. So, because it's much safer in my fantasy world than it is in reality. At least last week it was.
I mean, oh yeah, here's one. The flinger plastic garbage bags at the gas station.
Oh yeah.
Really? I mean...
Let's see. I'm trying to find the Twitter link for it. There it is.
I mean, let's be fair. The filling up a laundry basket with any kind of liquid is kind of something I would imagine a little kid doing, because they're not grasping the concept of you have to have an enclosed cylinder that could hold the fluid, and that a perforated cylinder is not going to hold any liquid.
Yeah.
But the fact that this picture depicted somebody who is clearly in their 20s or older. Did you miss those things in science class?
Maybe science was considered fake
I mean,
to them. I don't know. I did put the link of the image. If you didn't know and think we're just not showing proof, there is proof in that link. Visual proof in that link. So there you go, people. Welcome to the podcast with gas-filled laundry baskets.
yeah, But the point of that is expectations versus reality. Let's talk about expectations and reality with the new movie Spiral.
Yes, sir. Spiral.
Now, Spiral coming into this is supposed to be the latest film in another one of these, in my opinion, franchises that need to die. Because they're starting to get into the borderline of like the Freddy and Jason franchises that went on forever.
Ever and ever.
But this one is interesting because it has Chris Rock as one of the producers on this. Now, we haven't seen Chris Rock do some things in a hot minute.
No, he's done a lot of stand-up, and that's about it.
Well, he had quite a few films that were kind of on his whole stand-up shtick.
Oh, yeah.
And now, and the last time we saw him in the role of a police officer was the Lethal Weapon franchise.
Yeah, and that's been a while ago. Lethal Weapon 4, if I believe.
I think it was he introduced in 4?
I don't know.
That's right. Joe Pesci was introduced in 3. He was introduced in 4 because he was dating Glover's daughter.
Yep.
Whatever that character is, and they were trying to keep it on the kind of the down low, because
on the down low.
I mean, come on. If you're doing a job and you have a daughter and you don't want someone who does the same job you do, you want your kid to be going in a different thing. But realizing that some communities are just too tight knit.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's not talk about Lethal Weapon. If you want to watch Lethal Weapon, go check it. Go find and watch Lethal Weapon. It's a great, hilarious ride.
Yes.
But let's talk about Sprial. Spiral's yet another one in the franchise. Apparently, we have a copycat killer and a police detective trying to sort it all out. Ry, where is this one? Because the expectation is this is a horror movie.
In a way.
What is the reality?
The reality is that it's a mixture of genres. So Sprial is a reimage, I will say reimage, not a complete remake. It's a reimage, and it focuses on the character of Zeke Banks, who is played by Chris Rock. And what happens is that within the city, a serial killer begins his own use of brand of justice, and the officer must figure out all the pieces to the puzzle to figure out what is the purpose to these killings and how does it tie back to the Metropolitan Police Department.
Doesn't sound like a horror film.
No. So, like I mentioned...
Sounds like procedural.
Yeah, it is. It is a mixture of a procedural criminal drama and thriller concepts within the familiar routine that we know that is part of the Saw franchises, which is horrific killings by an unknown assailant. Because when the film initially starts off, it starts off with the killing of a cop. And then from there, it introduces you to Zeke Banks, Chris Rock, who is has a particular relationship with his own department. Him and people in his department don't see an eye because
sounds like a Precinct 13 or some of these where it's like good cop versus corrupt cops. I mean,
not necessarily. No, you're not necessarily wrong with that, but it doesn't focus on that. Within the first part of the film, it does very quickly to set it up that Zeke Banks has an issue with the department that he's working, but that is just the foundational level, because what happens is that they're thrown into the mix of trying to figure out why the serial killer is going after certain individuals in the department. So what is happening is that the serial killer is plucking off certain officers in the department. Initially, you're not sure what it is. And then when the film continues forward, it goes through the typical procedural drama that you find in crime films, but it does it in a way where it's focused on it's using the Saw element to help bridge the gaps of all the criminal elements that you're very familiar with.
How is it doing that?
How the Saw stuff is linking between?
Yeah, I mean, so far you're telling me that this sounds like a procedural film, and procedurals, whether they're on network television or in film, tend to be rather predictable and whatnot, and sometimes fantastical in whoever the killer is or the criminal is. How are they using the Saw elements to tie the procedural stuff together? Because you said at the beginning this is like a mixture of genres.
Yeah, it's a mixture of genres.
It's just like it mixed did it mix too many genres and it got lost in itself? Because I read your review. Yeah, and I saw the score on the review, yeah, so I'm trying to understand how you got there.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to. Before I got disembobulated, but
I'm happy I can help you, man. I got you on track, homie.
Basically what it is that this film is so basic in nature with the criminal drama element that it takes away from the thriller element of the Saw stuff, which the Saw stuff connects through the killings, and the killings being specific to the certain police officers or certain detectives in that department. So one by one, this unknown assailant is picking off these police officers, but what you find out once the film goes through and Zeke is putting together the evidence is that he's picking off individuals that have had morality issues with the department, but also have had issues with him himself. So what you're finding out is this assailant is actually working for Zeke Banks, not working with him in tandem, but you're starting to realize that, hey, all these killings are in a way helping Zeke, because what you come to find out in the film is that there are certain codes that he sticks with that has caused a friction between him and the bad cops in the department. So
That sounds like a fairly common trope.
Yeah, that is what brings down the film, is that throughout the film, regardless of the tension, regardless of the A-list actors that you find throughout, you have Chris Rock, you have Samuel L. Jackson, and a few others. It's the very linear, predictable procedural that pulls it down, because bit by bit, within the first like 10 or 15 minutes, you can figure out who the killer is, his main motive, and why he's doing everything for the officer. And that takes away from the thrilling and the traps, because what it is about films in the Saw franchise is that it's all about the traps and the killing and the whole idea of choice within those killings.
Oh yeah, I mean there are a plethora of videos on top 10 traps, or all the various things from the franchise, because I mean, that is definitely what really kind of drew a lot of people to it, was these creative and gory traps.
So that's where the thriller horror element actually comes in, is whenever you see these traps in play. But there's not a lot of time focused on that, and a lot of sparse time focused on getting from murder scene to murder scene to murder scene, and trying to figure out who, what, when, where, why, and how.
So there's a lot of exposition, but not a lot of...
No, there's a lot of exposition. It's a lot of one-dimensional characters. It's just much on a very surface level procedural, and doesn't do enough to develop the characters and wherewithal to make you either care about the serial killer motive or Zeke Banks in himself. So it just feels like it's going beat by beat. It's potential without causality. So...
Ugh. So, what did you give this one?
Overall, I felt like there was a lot of promise, but it kind of falls flat throughout. The wrap-up actually fills in a lot of stuff that might have felt like plot holes, but the way it ends and kind of forces a sequel, it's nothing more than a rental in my book, so 2 out of 5.
Yeah, I think one of the things you commented on, this is like the sci-fi movie version of Seven.
It's like a B-style movie of
That's
Seven.
why I said sci-fi original, because we know most sci-fi originals are B movies.
Yeah.
This sounds like it's a sci-fi original version of Seven.
Yeah, I like it's weird, because like I mentioned to you off air, is like there are parts of this movie I enjoyed. It's not a bad film. It's just very basic. That's what hinders it. It's very basic with the promise of something more. So.
All right. What was that line from The Witcher? It's like eating a pie and finding it has no filling. Hey, give a coin to your Witcher, everyone.
Flip the coin. Flip the coin.
Wild.
Yeah, I think you'll pass on that one, because you said you like to jump at a lot of different things, May. So it might scare you within the first 5 minutes.
I don't know. I mean, when it comes on streaming, if I try, like, I'll be honest, I'll admit this. I have not watched any of the Saw films. Nothing about that franchise has ever interested me to watching it, even though it's such a staple of pulp culture over the last decade.
Staple. It is but the thing is, the one good thing about it, it doesn't have any ties to the original stuff. It's its own thing within.
So it's essentially trying to reboot.
Yeah.
The franchise.
Yeah.
But it's acknowledging what happened prior.
Yeah.
Franchise.
So they're trying to add some different spins, some morality choices, but it just falls flat.
Alrighty. Well, if you want to read the full review, go to ryreviews.com and check out his full review, as well as all the other reviews he does.
Boom shakalaka.
Giggity giggity. Alrighty, so what else we got on the docket for tonight?
The Bad Batch, episode 3.
Ooh, that's right, Bad Batch.
So what do you think about episode 3, Scoop?
I think episode 3 is interesting because it's going to bring up more. I think this one was probably one of the first ones I've seen. And as I'm thinking about it, I think it's the first one I've seen that actually has multiple storylines in the same episode.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the other Star Wars animated stuff, you focused on the main group throughout the entire bit. This one, it's like you have what's going on with Clone Force 99,
yeah,
crashing on the planet and having to try and repair the ship. And then you cut over to Kamino and you revisit Tarkin and more of this conversation about replacing the clones with conscripted soldiers.
Yeah.
Because the clone project is clearly too expensive.
Yeah.
Well, we all know it worked out beautifully when we get to episode 4, when we get to A New Hope, and the stormtroopers can't hit the broadside of a barn.
Yeah.
There's a reason why, is because they're all conscripted. There's no clones, because clones know how to shoot.
Yeah.
Changed my mind.
I can't change your mind. 'Cause you got to change my mind as well. So change both our minds.
So, so you're cutting into this, and then you're cutting back. So it's two different things that don't seem very related. Because with some of the other ones, is you have even if you have two sides of the same team, but this one seems like we're looking at two different series of events that are being told concurrently. That we don't know when they're going to meet up again. You know they will, because this is television. This is how you write stories.
Yeah.
But we don't know when and how.
At some point.
But I thought it was interesting. Some good character development. What is Omega's purpose in the series is going to be interesting. I think Screen Crush is theorizing that Omega is force sensitive, which ties into the horrible plot element of the sequel trilogy about force sensitive clones. But this might be a way to try to explain it. I don't know. I'm reserving judgment. The fact that she's a female clone, and this is the first time we've seen a clone who is not male, is an interesting aspect.
Yeah, that is true.
But I have a feeling it might be falling too far into tropiness. But we'll wait and see.
Definitely a wait and see approach. I did enjoy this episode. A lot of character building, a lot of laying the groundwork for things to come. Because, like you said, TV is all about that full circle approach, and you can see bits and pieces that could come to bring certain things back.
Oh yeah,
together.
Yeah.
So, and I did appreciate the conflict between the purpose of, do we need clones or do we need actual soldiers? So it did bring up a good question in this with Tarkin. He's really hammering a certain thing. And
budget and expense, because we all know what he's trying to pull money together for. I mean, it doesn't take a rock science. No, this is how do we pay for the Death Star construction?
Yes,
because we know it gobbled up just about every other project in the galaxy.
Yep. So definitely seeing how that pulls. You see that political layering. So that is really brought in here, and the fact of, like I said, there are death scenes in this episode that caught me off guard. Because it puts a conflict of choice, especially with Crosshair and his unit.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how Crosshair plays into things later, and I'm curious to see what happens when they cross paths with Rex.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe they'll actually touch on how Rex, Gregor, and Wolf got together and retired on that planet fishing earth snakes, or whatever, the Jupers, whatever they called it.
We'll find out.
Yeah, hopefully. We will. So what else we got? I mean,
Castlevania dropped this weekend.
Yeah, you said you checked that out. How was it? I stopped watching it. I watched season 2, and season 2, like, they wrapped up really well, and then they pushed out a season 3 and a season 4. How was it?
Season 4 was actually, I think, the best of all the seasons, because it brought everything to fruition that was building up through the first 3 seasons, and it brought every storyline to a close. Every little bit and pieces of the what, when, and why, certain things that happened all the way back to season 1 came all the way full circle season 4.
Oh, that's clever.
So they found a way to tie in everything that dealt with, Dracula. Tie in Camilla and all the vampires, and what was the reason for everything from the beginning coming back wrapped up. So they wrapped up Trevor's story, Sypha, Alucard, everything wrapped up, and the action was stupendous. It was insanely good, the action in this.
That's on Netflix, right?
Yeah. So overall, season 4 was great. It did that thing which I appreciate, where it brought closure, but there's enough stuff there to build out the world, because they are planning to do spin-off series, and you can see where they're going to do the spin-off series on how it ended. There's a couple twists that happen at the end that definitely has you inkling for more. So
Interesting.
yeah.
I don't think I watched much in the way of TV. I've been doing podcasts, listening to podcasts again.
Yep.
And I've been going through books on Audible. Like right now, I'm working on a Clive Kessler novel. I am working on listening to Deep Six from Clive Kessler. It's one of the Dirk Pitt novels.
Oh yeah.
Working on that, trying to get through some of that because spending a lot of time trying to read spreadsheets and reports and do database stuff, and it's just like
It helps.
it does help a lot. I think I've got about 5 hours left on this book.
Oh yeah.
But speaking of Audible, if you're a D&D fan, they have a couple of the I Strahd books up on Audible. So check out audible.com for that. No, they're not paying any money. I just think Audible's really cool. So if they wanna throw some love my way for future, awesome.
Money. Yep, I started reading a book today.
What book?
It's another a biography. It's from one of my favorite comedians, Joe Coy. It's called Mixtapes.
I think I have one. It's a biography on Da Vinci from Walter Isaac. He did the one for Steve Jobs. I listened to. I don't know how long. I was working at 7-Eleven at the time, and I listened to it overnight.
Yeah, but yeah, I just started it today. I wanted to give a couple weeks since I've been reading a lot for school, so have a couple weeks rest the mind, start back up. So.
Yeah, I mean, podcast is like I do Wall Street Journal in the morning, the little 30-minute brief, back to work, and Wood Talk and Making It are the ones. I scaled back podcasts like it was cool just because, I mean, there's so many.
There is so many podcasts.
So many.
Listen to ours, Scuba and The Ry.
Oh, yeah. Which I've got to get the audio ones back flowing out for the podcast channels. I'm working on it. But at least you can watch it here on YouTube. So, hey, that's good too.
Watch it, people. Check it out.
Make sure you're hitting that like button if you like this. Be the algorithm. What else we got? Oh no, I'm dragging, man. I'm so dragging.
You said you did some web slinging?
Yeah, I got a little bit of time with Spider-Man. I'm focusing on doing the collectibles. I'm not really worried about the missions.
Okay.
But I made sure I unlocked do the tricks to get XP and fill your focus bar.
Okay.
Love doing that. I love just hitting that massive air. And I think I'm doing one side quest right now where you got to find a bunch of pigeons. Talk about reflexes, man.
Oh,
you get near this pigeon and it flies off and you're like, okay, how do I catch the pigeon?
Yeah.
I got to get within like 30 feet of it and then real quick hit the L1, R1 to like grab it. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, that tests your skills with the controller. I know exactly the mission you're talking about. So.
And then of course finding all the Black Cat stuff because I like Black Cat. I like Felicia.
Oh yeah. There's definitely more fun things ahead in that game for you.
I know what the whole story is. I've watched it twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
The story is phenomenal. The gameplay backs it up. So I've got no issue on that. I know Days Gone is about to drop on PC.
Yeah.
Speaking of PC, did you read that story about the guy about the modder who made a mod for Skyrim so they could go in and kill every single NPC?
Oh yeah, I did.
That was wild. And the thing is, I was like looking at it, and I was looking at some of the high-res photos. It looked like they modded in like a character from like Resident Evil, and was like, "Hey, I'm just gonna be like a Resident Evil person and just roll through Skyrim." And it was like Skyrim's a massive map, and you went and found every NPC.
Yeah.
I mean, the kill count at the end was like 4,000. And it was like, all right, now I'm done with Skyrim. I've killed everything, literally.
Yeah, put the link in there. But yeah, somebody.
Of course, the funny thing is you had to put in a mod that prevented the necessary NPCs from regenerating.
Yep, that was definitely an interesting thing because when you kill certain things, they don't come back. But that took a long time to do that. So.
Gotta love the modding community, especially a game like Bethesda's games just are modded so much.
Oh yeah.
So much.
Speaking of newness in games, I did jump into the expansion on Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It dropped.
What do you think of that? What do you think about
The
that?
Druids. I am actually enjoying it. It's not just a DLC where they just added extra content to play on. They
Isn't that what the purpose of a DLC is?
No. I think with DLC, if you're going to add content, I think you should expand upon a lot of the things instead of just a continuation. So what this expansion does, it not only it continues the story, but expands the mechanics, expands enemy types, and expands different kind of mission types and things you take in the game. So what happens with Wrath of Druids? You navigate to Ireland, and you come to find that your cousin is the king of Ireland in Dublin. So you're working with him as you try to restore confidence.
Is this the same cousin from the main story?
No, it's a different one. It's a different cousin.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. So and then you're working to work him into favor with the Irish king. So I'm going through that story, but the great thing about this is that it does a great expansiveness of Ireland itself. So it's not just a little piece of the map.
Let me ask you this, because I might be in the minority.
Okay.
And what are some of the modern elements?
There's no modern elements. Everything.
So there's no coming out of the Animus, no expanding on anything with that side of the story?
No, not so far.
Oh.
So all of it takes place because all of the expansion is expanding Ivar's story. So what it does, it takes you to Ireland, and one of the coolest mechanics in there is the trading post system. So what it is that you going through the country of Ireland, and you're taking back these trading posts, which brings in material and favors that you can turn in for extra stuff, and it also builds reputation for Dublin around the world, so you can get more trading goods.
Interesting shift in the mechanics.
Yeah. So not only are you tackling trading posts, you also have to deal with these extra enemy elements called the Druids, and let me tell you that these things have crazy fighting mechanics abilities that you have to learn and maneuver to get around. And not only that, they expand the skill tree and also add additional skills that you go to get throughout the land. So not only are you just continuing the story, you're expanding upon skills, fighting mechanics, different enemy styles, and different mechanics within the game with the trading post system. So far, that's what I've come across.
So the trading post system, kind of like how you had to take over the various castles and forts?
Yes, in a way, but it's more just a small little posts throughout the country, and they're not all the same. One I came across, you had to kill a bunch of pack of wolves because they were terrorizing. Then you had to go find the actual deed to restore it. Some of them have enemies there. Some of them have you going off and doing a separate mission to restore it. So it's not all the same things you're doing for the trading post, which takes away from that repetitiveness of open worlds. So.
Open world. It seems really cool, but then sometimes it can get really boring really quick if the map is too.
Oh yeah, so they do a good job of making it big, but not too big. And there's a lot to do. You can just roam around and doing things, and also they improved the raid system with the boats. So
how did they improve the raid system?
When you're raiding certain areas, it's not just material for you, but it's material to help build up the trading posts. So not only are you raiding for your own wealth as a Viking, because you raid and hoard and all that stuff, you're raiding to build up the strength of these trading posts. Because once you take the trading posts, you have to build up their strength in other things. So that's as far as I've gotten, and I've enjoyed it so far. So that's really the only game I played last week. So if you're a fan of Assassin's Creed, pick up Wrath of the Druids. It's out now.
Yeah, totally. I'm gonna admit I'm kind of beat, so I think maybe we're probably at a good stopping point. We're almost at an hour. I'm tired. Maybe we need to shift our time slot now that we're not competing with Tuesday nights. Maybe we can start running this at 8 p.m.
It's up to you.
What do you guys think? Put a comment below. You're on Patreon. Shoot me a message on Patreon if you think 8 p.m. Eastern versus 9 p.m. Eastern would be a good time shift. Now that There's another Tuesday show I don't have to compete with anymore. But yeah, I think we're gonna call it because kind of tiring. And
Always good.
we'll run through all the things. Thank you out here in the community. If you stuck around to the end of this video, you are an awesome and amazing human being. Please make sure you hit the like button. Also, feel free to leave a comment below if you're watching this on demand later. And tune in Saturdays for live D&D games. We've got one at 1 p.m. Eastern and another one at 8 p.m. Eastern. Should be loads of fun. And then Sunday with Scoob, morning show, paint miniatures. I got this young blue dragon I'm going to finish up. And I picked up the latest 2 paint night kits from WizKids, the Dire Troll and the Red Slod. As well as I've got a growing stack of miniatures from Dungeon in a Box that I need to start working through. One of them is like a deer unicorn mix. It's kind of weird. Shout out and a thank you to Sirenscape for the background music you're hearing tonight. It's a sound set I put together for Scuba and The Ry. Sirenscape is a whole collection of background musics and soundboards you can use for your tabletop experience, or podcast kind of background noise for like what we have. Go to sirenscape.com to check out more information about that. Thank you to the moderators. Don't want to make it seem like I forgot about you. You're awesome too. Thank you to Ry for coming over, hanging out for another Tuesday night.
Thank you.
You guys have a wonderful week, and hopefully we will see you Saturday morning for all the shenanigans with Shadow Watch and Challenge Accepted. So with that, good night, everybody.
Peace.
Where's the button at? Oh, there's the button.